The comfort zone is a beautiful place, but nothing grows there, okay? I want to let you know that if you spend your entire life, from the moment that you become aware of this whole thing called life, because one day, I'm not too sure if you're already aware of it, but you're living in a real world with real people around you, with real emotions, and everything that you do has a cost to it, and funny enough, everything that you don't do also has a cost to it. But here's the best part. From the moment that you are born, you will have nobody. You will be alone. You will be afraid. You will not know what you're doing. You will never know what you are doing. I can't tell you why you're here. I can't tell you your purpose. I can't tell you what you like. I cannot tell you why you want things, because you either want things or you don't want things. And it's kind of odd. Let me just point out something real quick before we go any further. We act off of emotion. We do not act off of information. Okay? Because if everybody acted off of information, everybody at this point would be a millionaire. Okay? If the information is out there on how to do the things, not a lot of people want to put in the work. Starting before you're ready. Having discipline in yourself. Having motivation. But then there's obsession. Okay, when you are obsessed with something, that's when you go so hard. That is when you go so hard. And you might not know what a comfort zone is. Let me explain what a comfort zone is. Let me explain my comfort zone. It's in my room, on my chair, scrolling on TikTok, doing my bad habits, and just being comfortable and just enjoying my existence, but I'm not really enjoying my existence. I hate myself. I don't really hate myself. I'm on the journey of loving myself, but I burn myself down, and that sucks. Because every single day that you spend inside of that comfort zone, it's another less day that you get to spend doing something that you want to be doing. Okay, and I'm not saying that's not something that you want to be doing, but deep down that this is not just it. That there needs to be more to this. That there is more to this life. But I'm not too sure if I'll ever figure it out. Because life is hard. Okay, and to leave the comfort zone means risking everything. Because you've given everything. And when you've given everything to something, you must give everything in order to quit. Or to stop whatever it is you want to stop doing. Because a lot of times in life, things are going to be quiet. You're just going to be left alone inside your head to think amongst yourself. And sometimes that'll get boring. Sometimes you might not like what you see, but you're here. You have the chance. After a while, you start to realize that it was never about the discipline. It was never about the motivation. Did you want it bad enough? Did something traumatic happen to you that made you want to live this life? Because every single person that really bosses up and becomes strong inside of this world had something happen to them that made that happen to them. It doesn't just happen. Okay, because from the moment you are born, you are a blank slate. And people can write on you. They write on your brain. Because every single moment, every single memory, it all comes back to you at once. And it all just sucks. All of it just sucks. Life is just suffering and it's pain, but that's okay. Because you can make the best out of it. You don't realize that you can go out there and actually do anything that you want to do. Let me explain something to you. If you have seen another human being do something, another human being, another person like me, another person like you, because we are no different. If you've seen another human being do something, I promise you, I am not just saying this, that if you put in the time, effort, and you start, and if you go out there and do something, if you actually go and do it, you can do it. Okay, if you've seen another human being do something, I promise you could do what they have done. Because they're no different than you. And that might be hard for you to believe because you might think that you're things that you are not. Lost in a world of no meaning. Struggling to find some. Maybe you will. Maybe you won't. Maybe the person you hold dearest to you is gone. And now you're just left to rot. You might be 53. But you may have died at 26. Continuing to exist. Trying your best to make something out of this life. Well, I'll tell you what. Today is your first day out of the grave. Because you are here. And the time to change, well, there is no other time other than right now. You know, because I know you probably want to save the world. But somebody needs to tell you that you were not put here to save the world. You were not put here to save everyone. People can only help themselves. And if you could start by changing yourself, well, then you just changed the world. Because changing yourself is the hardest thing you will ever do. Hurting yourself, putting yourself down, making sure that you don't get what you want. That's easy. But the moment that you start trying to heal yourself, well, that's the hardest thing you'll ever have to do. You know, and you can sit there and count them all day. Try to figure out what it all means, look at it. It's not going to change anything. Nothing changes if nothing changes. If you don't get out there and try, because you lose nothing in trying. At a certain point, you'll find yourself where you have nothing left to lose. Nobody left to prove something to, not even yourself. And allow me to repeat myself when I say this, because I will anyway. You do not have to prove anything to anybody. Not even yourself. You do not have to prove anything to anybody, not even yourself. And the moment you realize that, you could spread your wings and fly. Because if you sit down and let people dictate your life, they will. Because they are not you. They haven't been you from the moment you were born until now. Because every single choice, every single thing that has happened to you, the person you were 5 years ago, that down and out person, or maybe it's right now. But you'll start to realize that who you are right now shapes you into the person you will become. You know, because I know the person that I was a year and a half, 2 years ago, shaped me into the person that I am today. And even though it was traumatic, heartbreaking, destroying, crushing of the soul, I survived. And that might just mean that I could survive anything that this world wants to throw at me. Because you have survived 100% of your worst days. You have gone through the shit. And you have won. You have come out the other side. One must go through the mud to achieve beauty. In the mud, you will go through. You will march. You will crawl. You will pull. And you might not get it right every single time. But that's the beauty of life. Because life always offers a second chance. And you know what it's called? Tomorrow. There's always a second chance, and it is called tomorrow. And if you can just cut out the distractions in your life and really dead focus on you throughout the chaos, because the brain sometimes needs chaos, you could really become something else. You know? Because when you're sitting there and you're like, oh, I'm so scared, so timid, And you're asking yourself frantically, what should you do? And you don't know what you should do. Well, here's the thing. Everyone always says, even in school they taught you this, if it's not your best work, don't give it to me. If it's not your best, why are you even doing it in the first place, or something like that? But I say, try your best today. Okay? And this is your best. Okay, as long as you know in your head that you are really going out there, putting in your all, making progress, because progress is always progress, even if it's 1% every single day, even if it's the slightest change, it all adds up. The little things in life are the biggest things. Everything is like the opposite, man. Everything is like the opposite. The moment you start chasing happiness and stuff is the moment you find yourself furthest away from it. And then you really start to feel down and out, and you feel like nobody is aware of your existence, and just everything sucks. That's the comfort zone talking. Because I've been talking about it this entire time. Never taking a risk. Never putting in your all. Not following your own path. When everybody leaves, you stay. Because something inside is telling you different. And even throughout all of that, you made it. And maybe if you really do go out there and really do try, maybe there's no such thing as failing. Because when you do something, if you ask out the girl, try to go get the job, you'll realize that nothing in this life, like, failure is never going to be fatal, and success is never going to be final. You're never going to feel complete. You're never going to be whole. And do you want to know why? Because you are significantly insignificant. For the longest time, I didn't know why I was put on this earth. Maybe you think you were put on this earth to write books. Or maybe you think you were put on this earth to be a doctor, a lawyer. You're a human being. Okay, hold on to your dreams fondly, very lightly. You want to know why you should hold on to your dreams lightly? Because your dreams are not you. I mean, they are you, partially you. You created them. And that's what you need to understand, is that you created your dreams so you can uncreate them. These standards that you set for yourself and these expectations, you created them. As soon as you push away expectation and bring in appreciation to everything, well, that, my friend, is when things start to change. That, my friend, is when you start to see things differently. Because when you change the way that you look at things inside of this life, the things that you look at will change in front of your eyes, and things will be better. And the comfort zone is an amazing, fantastic place where you could kick your legs up and just be relaxed. But nothing is ever going to grow. You will never grow. You will never, because real growth looks like loss. You have to shed that old skin. You have to fail. If you always won, you would never learn. If you always win, you lose. And I know that sounds weird, but if you win at first, you lose. Because if you always win, you will never learn. Nobody's ever taught you how to prepare for loss. How to prepare for when that day comes, that the person that you hold dearest finally has to go. When everybody that you love leaves you, there is nothing left to do but live. And you've been existing for a long time. I think it's finally time to go live. Take that risk. Apply for that job. Ask out that girl. Do that thing. Because why not? Because why not? Because whether you do it or don't, try or don't try, whatever, you'll just walk right back into that dark room. And you'll wallow in it. Thank you for watching the entire video. It's possible that I'm a little bit hungry. It's possible I want pineapple slices, so I know this place has them. I've been living in the comfort zone basically, literally my entire life. Never taken any risk. I've never talked to any strangers. I never had a crush. And well, one time I had a crush and I acted on it and then I got rejected. And then I just never, we reject what we think will reject us. But then like I got rejected and then I was like, oh dang, like wow. And then I thought, oh, I'll never be loved again. But it doesn't even matter. You know, just do things. You know, because after a while you realize that it doesn't, you don't wake up and you look at something or you wake up and do something. There's no pat on the back. There's nobody's gonna come into your room and be like, oh, come on, you could do this today. You could beat today. You just got to do it every day. And it will get a little bit easier every single day. But you just got to do it every day. That is the hardest part. Get out there and stay positive.